Learn English with marriage. Welcome everyone. Today I am going to tell you something so shocking, so unbelievable that you won't even believe it's real. This is not a movie, this is not fiction. But let me tell you, everything in this story is 100% true. This is not just a story. This is reality. A reality so terrifying that it will change the way you see the world. Imagine living in a place where you can't wear the clothes you want. You can't listen to the music you like. You can't even speak freely, even inside your own home. If you say one wrong word, you could disappear forever. If you don't cry at the leader's funeral, you could be sent to prison. If you try to leave, your whole family could be punished. Can you even imagine living like this? This is the terrifying reality of life in North Korea. Today I will take you inside North Korea, into a world that is completely hidden from the rest of us. By the end of this story, you will feel shocked, heartbroken, and grateful for the freedom you have. But don't just watch the beginning. Watch till the end, because only then will you truly understand everything. Now listen to me carefully, because this is the truth the world doesn't want you to know. Can you believe it? For over 70 years, just one family has controlled North Korea. It all started with Kim Il-sung, the first dictator. Then his son Kim Jong-il took over. Now his grandson Kim Jong-un rules the country. 3 generations of the same family have controlled 26 million people. They treat the country like their personal kingdom. They live in luxury while the people starve. They create lies while the people suffer. And the worst part, no one is allowed to question them. In most countries, when a baby is born, the parents decide everything. They choose the baby's name, what kind of life they want for their child, what school they will go to, and what job they might have in the future. But in North Korea, you do not get to choose anything. Everything is decided by the government from the moment you are born. The first thing that is decided for you is your songbun. Songbun is a ranking system. It is like an invisible rule that controls your entire life. If your family is close to the government and is considered loyal, you get a high songbun. This means you can live in a good city, go to a better school, and have a better job. But if your family has a low songbun, you will suffer for your entire life. You will never be allowed to go to a good university. You will only get the worst jobs. You will be treated like a criminal, even if you did nothing wrong. And here's the most shocking part. Your songbun is decided based on what your ancestors did, not what you did. If your grandfather was a soldier who fought for North Korea, you might get a good life. But if your grandfather was a businessman, a farmer, or if he ever said anything against the government, your entire family will be punished, even if you were not born at that time. There's no way to change your songbun. No matter how hard you work, you will never be able to improve your life. Now imagine this: being punished for something your great-grandfather did, even if you never met him. Can you believe that control over what you can wear? In most countries, people can wear whatever they want. Women can wear jeans, skirts, dresses, or even shorts. Men can grow their hair long, shave it off, or style it however they like. But in North Korea, your clothing is controlled by the government. Women must wear skirts that cover their knees. They are not allowed to wear jeans, short skirts, or tight clothes. If a woman is caught wearing a tight dress, she can be punished. And makeup, forget about it. Women are not allowed to wear red lipstick because the government says it is a Western influence. There are only 15 approved haircuts for men and women. You cannot have any other style. If a man tries to grow his hair longer than the approved length, he will be stopped by the police. If a woman dyes her hair, she will be punished. Can you imagine that? Being arrested just for your hairstyle. One woman was caught wearing tight pants in the capital city. She was immediately arrested and sent to a re-education camp where she had to do hard labor for months. Her crime: wearing clothes that were too modern. This is not a joke, this is real life. In North Korea, food is one of the most basic human needs. In most countries, people can go to a supermarket and buy whatever they want. Even in poor countries, people have some choices. But in North Korea, food is strictly controlled by the government. Every family receives a fixed amount of food every month. This is called a ration. The amount of food you get depends on your songbun. If you have a high songbun, you might get rice, eggs, and some vegetables. But if you have a low songbun, you will only get corn and cabbage. Meat is a luxury that most North Koreans can never afford. A man who escaped from North Korea said that when he was a child, his family received only 3 kilograms of rice per month. This was not enough to survive, so they had to mix it with grass and tree bark to make it last longer. There is a black market where people secretly buy and sell food. But if you are caught, you can be sent to prison or worse. In most countries, people are free to think what they want. They can criticize their leaders, read different books, and watch whatever movies they like. But in North Korea, your thoughts are controlled from birth. From the time you are a child, you are taught that the leader of the country is like a god. You are forced to memorize his speeches. Every house has a radio that cannot be turned off, which plays government messages all day long. All books, TV shows, and movies are controlled. There is no internet. You cannot read news from other countries. If you are caught watching a foreign movie, you can be executed. A teenager was caught watching a South Korean drama. What happened to him? He was killed in front of 10,000 people. His parents were sent to a prison camp for 15 years. Can you believe that? Being killed just for watching a TV show. In North Korea, there are secret police everywhere. Your neighbors, your co-workers, even your family members might report you. If someone reports you for saying something bad about the government, you can disappear overnight. People whisper even inside their own homes because they are afraid that the government might be listening. One woman saw her neighbor taken away in the middle of the night. He was never seen again. His crime: telling a joke about the leader. In North Korea, your life is not your own. Everything is controlled: what you wear, what you eat, what you say, and even what you think. But this is just the beginning. There are even more shocking truths about daily life in this country. Let's continue. In every North Korean home, there must be 2 framed portraits hanging on the wall. One of Kim Il-sung, the founder of North Korea, and one of Kim Jong-il, his son, who ruled after him. These portraits must be in perfect condition at all times. You are not allowed to decorate them. You cannot put any other pictures on the same wall. Every morning, families must clean these portraits carefully. The government even sends inspectors to check if the portraits are clean. And if there is a fire in your home, your first duty is not to save your family. Your first duty is to save these portraits. There was a terrible fire in one family's home. The father ran to save his little daughter, but he forgot to take the portraits first. The next day, the government arrested him. His crime: not protecting the leader's pictures. North Koreans work long hours every single day. But do they earn enough to live? No, the average monthly salary in North Korea is just $3 to $5 USD. Yes, you heard that right, $3 to $5 per month. This is not enough to buy food for even 1 week. People survive by secretly working in black markets, illegal markets where they can buy and sell food, clothes, and goods. But if they are caught, they can lose everything: their food, their money, even their freedom. One man worked extra hours in a factory and saved some money. He used this money to buy rice from a black market. But when he was caught, the police took all his money and sent him to a labor camp. North Korea has prison camps where people are sent if they break the rules, even if they committed a tiny crime. But these prisons are worse than any nightmare. Prisoners are given almost no food. They only get a few grains of rice and some dirty soup every day. This is not enough to survive. So what do? They catch rats, frogs, and insects to eat. Some even eat grass and tree bark just to stay alive. One former prisoner said that he saw people fighting over a single dead rat because they had nothing else to eat. Another prisoner was caught trying to eat grass. The guards punished him by beating him so badly that he almost died. North Korea has a population of around 26 million people, but more than 40% of them do not have enough food. In the 1990s, there was a huge famine in North Korea. Millions of people died of hunger because the government refused to give them food. Parents were forced to watch their own children starve to death, but at the same time, the government was spending billions of dollars on weapons, luxury goods, and grand buildings. Kim Jong-un, the current leader, has a private island, luxury cars, and even his own personal movie theater, while his people are starving. A man who escaped from North Korea said, "The leader eats steak and drinks expensive wine, while children in my village were eating grass and dying on the streets." Can you believe that? A leader living in extreme luxury, while millions of people starve? In most countries, if you want to visit another city, you just buy a bus or train ticket and go. But in North Korea, you cannot travel freely. You need permission from the government to go from one city to another, and leaving the country: impossible. The borders are heavily guarded. If you try to escape, you will be killed. One woman tried to escape with her little son. She paid smugglers to help her cross the river into China. But before she could escape, the guards caught her. She was killed in front of a crowd. Her son was sent to a prison camp. In most countries, if you break the law, only you will be punished. But in North Korea, your entire family will suffer. This is called 3 generations of punishment. If you commit a crime, the government will not only punish you, they will also punish your parents, your siblings, and even your children. One man was caught listening to foreign music. He was sent to a prison camp for 20 years. But his parents and younger brother were also sent to prison, just because they were related to him. Another man escaped to South Korea. When the government found out, they arrested his entire family, even his grandmother. Can you imagine that? Your family suffering for something you did. They control the internet, TV, and books. In most countries, people can watch movies, listen to music, and read books from all over the world. But in North Korea, the government controls everything. There is no real internet. People cannot use Google, YouTube, or social media. They can only see government-approved websites. TV channels. Only government channels that show propaganda all day long. Books, only government-approved books. Reading foreign books is illegal. One young man was caught with a South Korean music video on his USB drive, and his punishment was death. So far, you have learned shocking truths about North Korea. How people live in fear, how they work for almost nothing, how prisoners eat rats to survive, and how the leader controls everything. But what you are about to hear now is even worse. Now I will expose the horrifying punishments in labor camps, how public executions are used to spread fear, the lies and propaganda that brainwash the people, how the leader makes people believe he is a god, the terrifying truth about what happens to those who speak against the government. This is the darkest part of the story. Imagine this: you are caught listening to a foreign song. The police arrest you and take you to a prison camp. There is no trial, no lawyer, no one to help you. You simply disappear. North Korea has many prison camps, but one of the worst is Camp 14. People who go in never come out. Prisoners wake up at 5 o'clock a.m. and work until midnight. If they move too slowly, they are beaten with sticks. They are given one small meal per day, a little corn and dirty water. If they want more food, they must catch rats, frogs, or insects. One former prisoner, Shin Dong-yuk, was born inside Camp 14. He never knew that a world outside existed. His parents were prisoners, and the guards forced them to marry inside the camp. Shin was forced to watch public executions from a young age. One day, he saw his own mother and brother being executed. Why? Because they planned to escape. The guards forced Shin to watch. This was his punishment, seeing his own family die. Shin finally escaped, but he is one of the few lucky ones. Most people in labor camps die of hunger, sickness, or torture. In North Korea, you don't just go to prison. Sometimes you are executed in front of a crowd. Public executions are a way to control people through fear. The government forces citizens to watch as people are killed for breaking the rules. What kind of crimes can get you executed? Watching a foreign movie, owning a Bible, trying to escape the country, speaking badly about the leader. Another woman was executed just for distributing Bibles. The message is clear: if you disobey, you die. You might be wondering, why don't the people fight back? Why don't they try to escape? The answer is propaganda. The North Korean government controls all information. They decide what people can see, hear, and believe from the moment a child is born. They are taught North Korea is the greatest country in the world. The leader is a god. The world is dangerous, and only North Korea can protect them. People cannot access real news. They have no internet, no foreign books, no outside information. TV shows and school lessons show fake stories about other countries. They say that people in the US, South Korea, and Europe live like slaves and have no food, no homes, and no happiness. The government even stages fake stores and fake cities to show to foreign visitors. Everything is a lie. And the biggest lie of all, North Koreans are taught that their leader, Kim Jong-un, is a god. The government tells fake stories about him to make people worship him. For example, they say that Kim Jong-il, his father, never needed to use the toilet because his body was so perfect. Kim Jong-un can control the weather with his emotions. When Kim Il-sung, the first leader, was born, a new star appeared in the sky. People are forced to bow to his statues and cry when they see him. If someone doesn't show enough emotion, They can be punished or even executed. Once a man was caught falling asleep during a speech by Kim Jong-un. He was taken away and never seen again. Kim Jong-un does not even trust his own family. In 2017, his half-brother, Kim Jong-nam, was assassinated in Malaysia. He was poisoned in an airport, killed on his brother's orders. Why? Because Kim Jong-nam had spoken against the North Korean government. Kim Jong-un also executed his own uncle, Jeong Sung-fek, his crime. Not showing enough respect to the leader, but the most shocking part, Kim Jong-un forced his own family members to watch the execution. In most countries, people can criticize their leaders. But in North Korea, if you speak against the leader, you disappear. One man whispered to his friend, "Kim Jong-un is not a good leader." A few days later, the police came to his house. He was never seen again. Another woman was caught listening to South Korean radio. The next morning, she and her entire family were taken away. Some people are killed immediately. Others are sent to labor camps where they are beaten, tortured, and starved until they die. This is why no one dares to speak the truth. People live in fear every second of their lives. You have now learned about the horrors inside North Korea. How people live in fear every single day. How labor camps work people to death. How the leader controls every part of life, even thoughts. How public executions keep people terrified. How Kim Jong-un pretends to be a god and even kills his own family. But now, I will reveal the most dangerous and shocking truths, the secret tunnels and underground networks helping people escape. What the world is doing and why some countries don't want North Korea to change. The biggest secret that North Korea is hiding from the world. This is going to be a dangerous part of the story. I already told you that in most countries, if you don't like your government, you can move to another place. But in North Korea, leaving the country is illegal. If someone is caught trying to escape, they are publicly executed to set an example. Sent to a labor camp for life, where they slowly die from hunger and torture. Their entire family is punished, parents, siblings, children, because the government believes in guilt by association. Despite these risks, some people still try to escape. But how? To the south is South Korea. But there is a heavily guarded border called the DMZ, Demilitarized Zone. It is the most dangerous border in the world, full of landmines, barbed wire, and soldiers with guns. To the north is China. But the rivers are frozen in winter, and border guards are trained to shoot anyone trying to cross. The only option is to cross into China illegally, then find a way to reach South Korea or another safe country. But escaping is not as easy as crossing a river. If someone is caught escaping, they are not just punished. They are tortured in the worst ways possible. Some defectors, people who escape, were caught and sent back to North Korea. They describe the horrific things they suffered. Being beaten with metal rods until their bones broke. Having fingernails pulled out with pliers. Being forced to kneel on sharp stones for hours. Women who were pregnant were forced to have abortions, especially if the baby's father was Chinese. One woman, Park Yeon-mi, managed to escape as a teenager, but she later found out that her friend was caught and executed in front of her family. Despite these dangers, there are people who risk their lives to help North Koreans escape. There is a secret underground network, similar to the Underground Railroad, that helped slaves escape in America. This network helps North Koreans cross into China, travel through safe routes, and reach South Korea or other countries. That's why escape routes are top secret. Even if someone gets help, they can never fully trust anyone. Some make it out alive. Others disappear forever. Believe it or not, there are secret groups inside North Korea that are trying to fight against the government. How? By smuggling outside information into the country. USB drives filled with movies and news are secretly passed between people. Radios are hidden in walls so people can hear the truth from South Korea. Fake money and documents are used to bribe officials. Some groups in South Korea send balloons filled with leaflets, USBs, and money over the border into North Korea. The government hates this, because if people learn the truth, they will no longer obey. That's why people caught with foreign information are executed. This is why North Korea is so dangerous. The leaders know that if the people wake up, the dictatorship will end. Many people ask, why doesn't the world help North Korea? Why don't countries try to stop this? The truth is complicated. Some countries want North Korea to change, but others benefit from its existence. China secretly supports North Korea because it wants a buffer between itself and the allied South Korea. Russia also trades with North Korea to avoid us sanctions. Some powerful nations use North Korea as an excuse for military spending. Even though many human rights groups are fighting to expose the truth, governments are careful not to start a war. This is why North Korea remains a prison for 26 million people. There is one final secret, one that North Korea never wants the world to know. Despite all the control, despite all the fear, people inside North Korea are waking up. More and more are secretly listening to foreign radio. More and more are risking their lives to escape. More and more are losing their fear of the leader. One day the people may rise up and end the dictatorship. And when that happens, the world will finally see the full truth. The suffering, the lies, the horror, and the incredible bravery of those who fought for freedom. The North Korean government is afraid of only one thing: the people realizing the truth. Because when people stop believing the lies, the dictatorship will fall. Now you know the full truth. North Korea is not just a country. It is a massive prison. The people live in fear. But some are secretly fighting back. The world is watching, but politics prevent real change. And the biggest secret: the people are starting to wake up. This is one of the most shocking and heartbreaking stories in the world. But the story is not over yet. Because as long as one person fights back, the dream of freedom is still alive. And one day the walls of this prison will fall. If you found this shocking, powerful, and eye-opening, make sure to share this with others, so the truth can be heard. Because the more people know, the harder it will be to keep this hidden. If you are watching this video right now, you are lucky. You can go outside without fear. You can choose what to wear, what to eat, and what to say. You can watch any movie, read any book, and use the internet freely. You can travel, work, and live the life you want. North Koreans don't have these rights. So the next time you feel frustrated with your life, remember how lucky you are. Appreciate the freedom you have, because millions of people are still dreaming of it. This was the shocking truth about North Korea. But do you want to know everything about the dictator himself? How he became the most feared man in North Korea? The brutal way he killed his own family members? The secrets about his childhood and his rise to power? If you want a full biography of Kim Jong-un, comment below and let us know.